Hello guys. I recently viewed my analytics and found that people are watching my video but not subscribing my channel. Please subscribe my channel so that I can feed my cat.
A girl finds a weird machine on the road, where it was written, "The machine of death." When you insert a coin in it, the machine will predict your future. It was written on the machine that its prediction is 100% correct. A girl named Jessica was curious to see the machine. The machine takes her blood sample, and the machine gets activated. A card comes out of the machine, where it was written old age. Seeing it, Jessica becomes happy because her death will happen in old age. Being happy, she runs to her home. Suddenly a car hits her and she dies. And the person driving the car was an old man. It means the machine had predicted correctly, but Jessica had misunderstood it. After some time, a tennis player named Mick uses the machine of death in the same way. After taking Mike's blood sample, the machine gives him a card, and it says parachute failure. It means he will die due to parachute failure. Now Mike knows how he will die, so he decides not to play any game which uses a parachute. After that, he goes to the tennis court to play tennis. His friends arrive and ask about the reason for his anxiety. Suddenly a parachute bag falls from the sky and Mike dies. Now it was the turn of a handsome guy named Alex. He also uses the machine of death, and it was written hot girl. Due to this, Alex knows that he will die due to a hot girl, so he decides he will stay far from hot girls. Then Alex goes to a beach, where there was no one. A girl comes near him and requests him to put sunscreen on her back. Alex denies her and leaves from there. Suddenly a girl on fire comes and crashes with him. Now it was the turn of Miley, and time travel was written on the card. Miley goes happily into her room and tells her roommate about it. Her roommate thinks that Miley is Nobel addicted as it is just her imagination. Miley says it is all true in anger, but her roommate gets angry and throws a clock at Miley. Suddenly a time portal gets activated, and Miley reaches World War I. There was lots of gunfire happening, and she was hit by a bullet and died. Then it was the turn of an officer named One. Bear was written on his card. Roan started to avoid the products which were related to bears. He also does use honey because its bottle shape was like a bear. He feels frustrated by all the things and starts to drink beer. Suddenly he realizes that it is also a beer. So he also doesn't drink it. His daughter comes there and asks him to go camping. But Roan denies her because he knows that there are bears in the forest. His daughter tells him that we will not go to the dense forest. The next day they go camping and go to the dense forest taking risks. To protect himself, Roan carries an axe with him at all times. But luckily nothing happened to him. Now Roan starts to believe that the machine was lying, and nothing is going to happen to him. When he goes back home, he doesn't get scared of anything. He also uses the honey bottle. But suddenly a bear appears and kills Roan. Let's go on to our second story, which is titled The Mask. This story is about a person who doesn't have a face. This person was born without a face, but also he had 15 faces. This man's name is Jack. He always used to sleep without a face. The next day he wears one of the faces and goes out. But this is not just with Jack. All of the people in the world were living like this, with many faces. Every day people change their faces: sad face, funny face, creepy face, happy face, and many more. People used to wear their faces according to their needs. Every morning Jack goes to the place where he had kept the faces, with the help of a rope. Jack's mood was very good that day, so he wears a happy mask. He goes to a grocery store, where he buys food for breakfast. But when Jack gives the cash to the cashier feels angry seeing Jack's happy face. When Jack went outside, people were looking at him in different ways, because he had a happy face that day. When Jack was trying to go on the buy, no one let him go inside, all of them pushed him back. Due to this, he didn't get to go to the bus. Hardly does he goes to the next bus. Then he reaches the office, where his boss scolds him badly. He says that you are late, although Jack had come at the correct time. When he starts to do his work, his colleagues throw him a pen, and he says that it's his fault that he was sitting there. Jack was very fractured of these things. After that, another colleague pushes him. At that moment Jack feels that all of the worlds are against him. Jack goes back to his working place, where he makes a drawing. He makes a smile on his face, but he realizes the things that happened that day, and the whole credit goes to his happy face. He knows that the world doesn't like smiles, so he converts the smile into sadness. When he was going to his house, he was very sad and everyone was happy seeing his sad face. When he reaches home, he removes the mask. It was his last smiley mask and he had also made it sad. This story has a powerful message. A person has a distinct face for one person. a different face for another, and a different face within himself. Let's move to our third story, which is titled Stucco. We see a woman at the start, who is very frustrated with her life. When she was sleeping at night, she saw a hole in the wall. At first, she ignores it, but she begins to get attracted to it. Seeing the hole, she feels hallucination. Many days pass, and she continues to see the hole every night for hours. One day she becomes curious and starts to move near the hole. She stares at the hole and an alien tentacle comes out, and she starts to kiss it. But suddenly she wakes up and realizes that it was just a dream. She becomes stressed because of the dream and drinks a little bit. At night when she was working on her laptop, she became unconscious. When she gained consciousness she was near the same wall. Now she becomes frustrated and starts to destroy the wall and go inside. When she entered, she goes into some other world, where she sees an alien entity. The entity calls her to itself. Although she didn't want to go, her body was automatically moving towards it. It was a weird kind of alien entity. It makes the woman sit on it and gives her a crown. It tightly holds the woman. She frees herself from it and starts to attack it with a hammer. Now she gains her real consciousness and sees that she is hitting her car. The whole thing which was going on was just her thoughts. Nothing happened in reality, and the third story also ends. Please let me know how you feel about the movies in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to not miss such kinds of movies.